In this video, I created a small arcade game inspired by one of the mini games from Mario Party. I don't really remember it specifically, but it had something to do with falling blocks inside of a volcano. As a game developer, you can create anything you can imagine. Games like Breath of the Wild, Pokemon Platinum, Minecraft, and millions of other games are all treasures created to live lives that were previously impossible to experience. Wait, what was I talking about again? I underwent hours of brainstorming, trying to find the best idea imaginable. I mean, okay, honestly, that's a lie. It was my first idea. As I used Unity to create my game, I made a project with the name Falling Blocks. Just like every other game developer ever, we first create a bean.
Wait, what anomaly? I saw it.
Work hard, play hard.
Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
No, not that one. The character is not doing anything right now. That's why I should probably make a movement script. I was really tired after creating that bean, so I tried the best way to create a movement script. I asked an AI. The script ended up being a bit too simple, so I just created my own. After a couple of hours, it finally worked. Okay, I feel like a lot of devs use the normal gravity from Unity. It's a small pet peeve of mine. It literally feels like I'm playing Mario Odyssey in that one kingdom on the moon. At least they did it on purpose. I feel like it's way too unrealistic for the player to jump really high, especially in this game, so I created a double jump, which is gonna make it way more natural. I can also do some cool animation combinations with it, like how Mario does a small spin move, but for now let's just add some smoky particles. Okay, I just had the best idea out of nowhere. I remember hearing a couple of friends say something about how paper prototypes are a great way to test games and ideas, so never mind. I find movement to be one of the most important mechanics in a game to get right. Bad movement can really stop me from continuing to play a game. And whenever the player wanted to jump in my game, but was way too close to the ledge, he just couldn't jump anymore. Games like Celeste fix this typical issue by adding a small window of time where the player can still jump. So that's exactly what I did. Okay, so the bean moves now. Time to add the most important thing in the game, the falling blocks. I just created a simple grid which I used to spawn the blocks from. As always, after creating the grid, I did something completely different. I'm like one of those Sonic fan dubs where they just run away out of nowhere.
Well, it was a whole dream. Bye!
I added 4 different cameras so that the player can switch between them. The blocks will be randomly spawned, so I don't want to block the view for the player. Next, I created the blocks, and now they also randomly spawn. Luckily, the physics already look good enough, so I don't have to write some weird custom physics stuff, if that's even possible in Unity. I also added some shadows, so the player can predict where the blocks will fall. As you saw before, the game doesn't really have a lot of models. I did this specifically because I'm a really bad artist and I'm not even joking. My first iteration is pretty okay, but as a model it looks pretty trash and it's always a bit boring. The game doesn't really have a specific theme, so I can literally create anything for a character I want. I just started modeling some random stuff, then I saw some cacti in it, which was pretty cool. But I decided to do some more random stuff and there was a huge mistake. I decided to go for a low poly style with hard edges. When I finished the blocks, I could already see a huge improvement. I did the same for the other environment pieces. I think they look pretty decent right now. Now let's get back to the character. This is what I came up with. I don't know why he's blue or why he looks like the blue guy from Avatar if he was possessed by Aku. Now that I rigged the character, I can start animating. I don't really have the time to animate all these animations, so I'm just gonna yoink them from Maximo. Thank you. I randomly had the best idea to create better shadows on the ground. When I spawn a block, it simply scales itself from 0 to 1. As you can see, it looks already way better. Okay, I don't know why this is happening. I mean, it's pretty cool, I guess. block harvesting game at 20k likes, huh? Around this point was also the moment when I really wanted to do a bit of post-processing. I mean, look at it. The difference is pretty nice. The character now also dies in the correct way, and I also added a scoring system. Okay, now the hardest part of the game to get right, at least for me. UI. I'm not lying whenever I tell you guys that my UI has never looked good before. And this time it went pretty okay, I guess. I mean, it's not the best, but at least it doesn't look as bad as in World of Warcraft. While working on UI, I also added a bit of music. I used crossfading to fade between the starting gameplay music, which was pretty nice. I don't even know what I did, but the player doesn't die anymore and just glides away like nothing happened. I guess it's a feature now. After all that stuff, I created a high score. I finally fixed all those bricks you see on the invisible part of the wall. I randomized the start size of the blocks. I contemplated adding a Naruto run, and I also found a lot of new bugs. And I mean a lot. Oh yeah, and I also created the hardest game in existence. It's literally impossible to win. Take that, Elden Ring. Besides all the stuff I added already, I felt like the game was missing something important. It felt a bit empty. There's a lack of immediate danger. That's why I quickly created a spike block, which instantly kills you. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that this is the new Undertale, but I think it's a pretty fun result. If you want to test the game, it's available on my itch.io page. Just load it up and see what you think. Feedback is always appreciated as I'm still learning. Let's just hope it only gets better from here. Subscribe.
The sun rays hitting my back. I miss the days you relax. It's different now, you was spazzing me for anything. All around you looking for love, but is there anything where y'all see the feelings are gone? Until the wedding ring, I'll pick you flowers just to brighten up your day. Sunflower from the garden just to pass up on your bad mood. Tattooing your heart on my face.